everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be diving into the new highlighter from Hermes. I ordered this a few days ago from Selfridges and it just arrived at my door. I actually wasn't planning on filming today. I had to get my nails done and I just threw on a little bit of makeup. I wasn't planning on filming, but when I got home and saw that this has arrived, I thought, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and turn on the camera. So if you guys hear some outside interference, I apologize. Right now, it is now 6:30 at night. So my son and a few of his friends are upstairs talking to my husband. So if you guys can hear them, I apologize. But it is 6:30 at night. You know, what are you going to do? So we're going to dive into the new highlighter today. So this is called the Permabrass Highlighter from Hermes. And this is really pretty. The embossing is absolutely beautiful. I paid $89 for this on the Selfridges website. So I don't know if the price is going to change once it comes to America, because it seems like when the blushes launched, the price was a little bit different when it launched at retail stores in America. So Selfridges is in the UK. And so I don't know if the price will change once it comes. It is currently sold out on the Selfridges website, but I would assume that it will be coming to America soon. So if this is something you guys decide that you want to pick up, I'm sure it will be in stock very soon. So lots to say about this highlighter. Now, many of you guys know I reviewed the blushes and I bought two shades. I had 32 Rose Pommet and 23 Rose Blush. And I thought that the blush formula was really, really great, but it was the packaging that I didn't love. I kept thinking, these are so lightweight, and I just did not feel like this was something I expected from Hermes. Like, Hermes is like, it's like Birkin. I mean, I know that not all their products are Birkins, but like, Hermes is a very, very high-end luxury product. So so in my mind, I kept thinking that these were going to be really spectacular, and the formula is great. The blushes are great. It's just the packaging I was kind of disappointed in. So when I saw the highlighter, I mean, the highlighter's been very highly anticipated. Of course, when I saw the packaging, I knew right away not to have that expectation, because this is the exact same packaging as the blush. So for those that were curious, these are the exact same packaging. Now, it does have the little pinhole in the back like the blushes do, where you're supposed to be able to pop them out. But here's the thing, I don't even want to try testing it, because the embossing on this, I think, is what makes it special, the Hermes embossing. So for me, I would never want to change this, ever. So I will never pop it out. I don't know why you'd want to. It does come in the same kind of packaging as the blushes did. It has this orange box, and this is the encasing that the boxes come in. This highlighter is limited edition for the holidays, so I don't think it's going to be a part of their permanent beauty collection. So if it is something that you want to pick up, just know that it is limited edition. Now, I also want to mention that you get 7 grams worth of product, and it looks like this is made in Italy. So just FYI. We're going to go ahead and dive into the application. I'm going to apply it on the face and kind of give you guys my first impressions of that. I'm going to dive in deep into my highlighters and not only find similar shades, but also I want to find similar textures. I already have a few in my mind just from putting it on, but I really want to dive in and see if I can find something that is not only the same color, but also the same texture. So in case many of you guys just do not want to spend $89 on a highlighter, because who really wants to, right? Like, unless you're like an Hermes collector, it's pricey. I have a hard time paying that for foundation, and I love foundation. Highlighters on a whole other level. She's expensive, but it is Hermes, you know what I mean? So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the application, and then we will get into the swatches. And then in my final thoughts, I will kind of go through and let you guys know my thoughts on which highlighters I feel like are similar in texture and also in color, so that you guys can kind of look to see if this is something you really need. So without further ado, let's jump into the application, and I will see you guys all in my final thoughts. Okay, everyone, let's dive into this new highlighter from Hermes. Here is the box. So it shipped in this box, pretty much kind of similar to the blushes. And then similar to the blushes, they slide out this way, I believe. Yeah. I mean, it's not like opening a Birkin or anything, but you know, one can only dream. So this is what it looks like down inside the box. And the packaging, I can tell you, let's grab the blushes. So the packaging is in the exact same packaging as the blushes. And if you guys watched my video about the blushes, they were not my favorite packaging, because when you spend that much money on a blush, I'm expecting the packaging to be a little bit fancier than a white plastic, cheap, really lightweight packaging with a little gold emblem. Let's open her up. So you have this little protector, and there is the highlighter. This is a really pretty highlighter. Embossing on it is absolutely beautiful. It really is. It's a really pretty highlighter. So let's put her on. So I'm gonna use two different brushes. So I have this one, which is the artist brush, I believe, from Wayne Goss. This applies in a very soft way, so it doesn't apply a lot of product. And then I'm gonna use the Sigma tapered highlighter brush, which this is synthetic. It densely packs it a little bit more. So I wanted to see how this highlighter applies with different brushes. So we're gonna first go in with this artist brush from Wayne Goss. And I'm going to grab a little bit right here. And it seems like it's not picking up much. And both of them have black bristles. So you can kind of see it sitting there on the bristles. Okay, so as you can see, it's a tiny bit. So this brush applies it in like a sun-kissed way, where it kind of gives the skin that highlight effect, but in a very, very soft way, okay? So now I'm gonna go in with the tapered highlighter brush from Sigma. Grab some here. Now this picks up a little bit more, so you can see it sitting there on the bristles. Okay, I can tell you that even with this Sigma tapered highlighter brush, this highlighter applies very, very light. Kind of melts into the skin in a way where, I mean, you can see it, right? You can see it, especially when the light hits it, but it applies the lightest amount. That is really interesting. It's not one of those highlighters that you can instantly see this dramatic effect. So you can see it there on my lip right there. I would say this is a type of highlighter that is probably perfect for those that doesn't like an intense highlighter. For those that just likes a little bit of that kissed look, like that glistened skin, but it's not super intense. That's what this has given me. So this is one of those highlighters that is so soft that you could bring it like right down here and kind of highlight that cheek area. It doesn't intensify pores or anything. You guys, I have to be honest, this is a really pretty highlighter. It is. I can't lie and say it's not. So I want to show you guys what this is looking like on my finger. You guys can see how it's sitting on the finger, but look how it applies. It's so thin. It's very interesting. I'm trying to think of what highlighter. Hold on. I think the one from Chanel. This one from Chanel comes to mind, where this kind of applies like this. So this is, I don't even know. It's got such fancy words. This is what it is. I would say this highlighter is very similar in the way that it feels. And in fact, they're pretty much the same texture. So the one from Chanel has like a purple pink base, and the one from Hermes is more yellow base, more golden, but they apply, in my opinion, the same. This is about the only highlighter I have in my collection that applies like this. Come to think of it, I think this was advertised as like a blush topper, possibly because it's so lightweight. And it's supposed to kind of, that's why I can put it right here on this part of my cheek, and it looks really beautiful, but it's not emphasizing my texture at all. In fact, the brush that came with this from Chanel, you're supposed to kind of dip your brush into it and then like go right over top of your cheeks with it. So that is the vibe that this Hermes highlighter is giving me. It's extremely soft on the skin. I think if you like intense highlighters, I don't think you'll like this one, because I think you could really build it to be a little bit more intense, but I think that kind of defeats the purpose of this formula. This is the Pat McGrath. This is in the champagne gold, but as you can see, that is like a metallic highlighter, right? So you can see it next to this one from Hermes. So it doesn't have any thickness to it at all. So like this one from Pat McGrath, the champagne gold, it was this one. I think this one was a limited edition. I don't know that you can get it anymore. You might be able to get it on our website. But this one is meant to be like a foiled effect on the skin, just to be super intense. But this one from Hermes is very, very soft. And I'll be honest with you, I quite like this. Recently, I would say the last like couple of months, I've kind of pulled away a little bit from the heavy highlighter. I think that's why I'm reaching for the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude. I love this one because this one applies in like a very thin way. So this is Natasha Denona and this is Hermes. You can kind of see my skin underneath the swatch. With this one from Natasha Denona, you can't see my skin from underneath. So, and I have been really enjoying that Natasha Denona. It's a little bit lighter on the skin where it's not super, super heavy. I think I've kind of like moved away from that heavy, intense highlighter stage in my makeup game. Wow, this is a lot better than I thought. I'll be honest. That's the application. Let's go ahead and jump into the swatches, and I'm going to swatch the shade next to other highlighters that I have in my collection, and then we will jump into my final thoughts. So I will see you guys then. Okay, so I am back. Just an FYI, the boys have moved from my kitchen to the next room and they're in the theater. So I'm gonna try to like somehow in the editing process kind of remove the background noise, but if you guys can hear that, I apologize. Okay, so let me go ahead and get into my final thoughts really quick. So let me just say first right off the bat, I really like the highlighter. It's really beautiful, you guys. This is a really pretty highlighter. It applies in such a gorgeous way. This is a highlighter that I will bring down here on this part of my cheek because it's not too intense, so it's not going to emphasize like the texture that I have and the pores right there in that area. This is a gorgeous highlighter. I will be reaching for this a lot now that I have it. The price on it is just so ridiculous. I feel like this is more of a collector's item versus something that you need in your collection. So if you want something super special in your collection, this is nice, and it's a very unique formula in my opinion. Like for example, the blushes are a great formula, but I don't feel like the formula was anything better than what we already have. In the case of the highlighter, I feel like it is a pretty special highlighter, but I also don't feel like it's overly special where you have to run out and grab it, okay? So I wanna make that clear. So in the swatches, as you will notice, I really tried hard to get the best lighting, to try to get the best look where you guys could see this highlighter compared to some of the others. I have them still here on my arm. This is the Hermes, and then this is the Natasha Denona. This is the one from Chanel. And then this right here is the Dior Forever in the Nude Glow. And then this right here is the Amrezy from Anastasia. This is the Fenty Diamond Bomb in Royal Icing. This right here is the Dior Backstage Glow Face Palette in the Sheer Gold Pearl. So it's the first shade in the Sheer Glow Pearl. And then finally out here on the end is the new highlighter in the Charlotte Tilbury Nudegasm Face Palette. Now, first of all, you guys will notice I broke my arm. Can you guys see my elbow? So I have this big hump right here. I broke this elbow when I was 6 years old and I had an open fracture. So it bows in here and then pops out here. I have a funky looking arm, but I'm right-handed and I can't swatch left-handed. I have the hardest time swatching left-handed. I would say the shade is similar to this highlighter in this palette, which is the Dior Backstage. This face palette right here, this is the top shade. The only difference is this highlighter is thicker than this. The one from Dior has a little bit more of a glitter texture to it than the one from Hermes, but they are still pretty similar in shade. The other thing that I want to mention is if you have a lighter skin tone, I think this highlighter might be too dark. I feel like this highlighter is probably best for light medium to dark skin. I feel like it might look really pretty on deep skin because it does have that golden undertone. But if you're fair to light medium, this light medium is probably the border as far as the tone because it is a little bit darker. Here's the thing though, the Charlotte Tilbury, this one right here in the Nudegasm, this one, it has more of a pink base to it, believe it or not. It's kind of gold when I apply it, but when I swatch it next to this one, it has a pink base to it, and this is more golden. The Hermes highlighter is closest to the texture in that Chanel highlighter I showed you guys earlier, but the color is different. So this one's more yellow, and this one's got more of like a purple pink undertone. I would say the shade is closest to the Dior, but the Dior is more glittery and a little bit more sparkly. A lot of people ask me why I don't do arm swatches live, and this is why. My elbow is a little redonkulous. But because it's the Hermes highlighter and it's $89, for you, I will show you my ugly elbow. But don't get used to it because it's a special occasion, okay? It's only for the Hermes highlighter. From what I've gathered and went through my entire collection, I haven't found anything that's exact to it in my collection. So it is a little bit, so it's unique for my personal collection, but it's not necessary, you guys. There's a lot of beautiful highlighters out on the market, and I just don't ever feel like it's necessary to spend that much. Unless you're a collector and you want something really nice from Hermes, but you don't want to spend $25,000 on a Birkin, then this is where you go, right? It's a really, really beautiful highlighter. It is. I also want to mention these earrings, they are not real Chanel, okay? I just want to make that clear. These are from an Instagram page that Morgan Turner suggested on one of her videos recently. It's a small business on Instagram that takes Chanel buttons and makes earrings and necklace out of it. So they're real buttons, but she creates earrings and necklaces and stuff. But I want to make this clear. I don't own a pair of Chanel earrings or a Chanel necklace. So I just want to make that clear. I also wanted to mention, if you guys are interested, the new brushes from REPHR are available. Let me get them for you. I'm kind of obsessed with these brushes. Okay, so this is the number 31 foundation brush. I love this brush. I absolutely love this brush. It is so, so good. The shape of it is perfect, and I love it. Also, really love this brush. So this is the number 32. I have been using this Pro Highlighter or Pro Contour Highlighter brush from Sephora, the number 80, to put down my concealer and like eyelid primer and stuff on my lid. And this brush from REPHR applies it like a dream. I love, like it gets into that corner like perfection. I have really loved this concealer brush. So if you guys are in the market to get new brushes, REPHR has got these 3 amazing holiday brushes. Okay, and then we have this. Oh my gosh, I love this. I love this. Oh my gosh. Look at this. Oh, you guys, this is becoming one of my favorite powder brushes. Now, I just washed it, so it's clean, but I love these 3 brushes. So these are currently now available on the REPHR website. I would say they would sell out. So if you guys are interested, I will link them in the description. They also have these amazing makeup organizers that I have still unpacking. So I'm saving them to display a few things on my counter, like here on my makeup counter. Of course, this Hermes highlighter will be one of them, right? But they're really sleek and black and just really beautiful. So if you guys are in the market for these 3 brushes or the makeup organizers, oh, they're fantastic. So I'll leave them linked in the description box. Sound out down below in the comment section. Let us know how you guys are feeling about this Hermes highlighter. Did you pick it up when it came in at Selfridges? And if you did, share with us in the comment section down below. But just know, you guys, no highlighter is ever worth $89, okay? Not on any level is a highlighter ever worth $89. So if you look at this and you think, oh, I would love to have that, it's so beautiful, it's not necessary, okay? It's not. It's really pretty, but it's not fully necessary. That's it for the video. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me in today's video. I hope that the video was helpful. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Love you. Bye.